Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard after a big Game 3 victory for the Edmonton Oilers. One in which, well, you knew if the Oilers could pull off something massive here, it was going to feel real dang good on a Sunday afternoon where the Oilers have traditionally struggled over the course of the last 20 years, it feels like. Well, they get the job done here today, and you can play La Bamba and rock out because we are up 2-1 in the series over the Dallas Stars. The big time victory here is the fact that the Oilers maintain home ice for Game 4 with a potential repeat of what happened against the Vegas Golden Knights on the line here in Games 4 and 5. Again, the fact that Stuart Skinner continues to find ways to win. I think, outside of those two LA Kings games, the numbers in those, 5 games? Well, I don't even know what the math actually works out to, sorry. 6 games now that he has played since the LA Kings series. You remove those 2 games at the start of the playoffs for Skinner, and it's just been pretty much lights out. Yeah, there's been 2 problematic games, but you look at the other material outside of those 2 games and those 4 games far away, and it's just absolutely insane. And all it leaves me with is you can talk about Skinner, you can talk about the joke around the defense, you can talk whatever you want about this Edmonton Oilers team. This team, despite absolutely everything that has gone on since June 25th last year, following the loss against the Florida Panthers and Connor McDavid being named the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, this team in these playoffs, going down 0-2 against the Kings, have found a gear we knew was there all year. Again, health was a big factor early on in the playoffs, and also just the fact that they actually had to put it together still after really, despite having a 100-point season, never truly put it together in the fashion that we are seeing this Edmonton Oilers team put it together since Game 3 of the Kings series. So what's truly unbelievable is, I think, again, for another year in a row, the Oilers match up against the Dallas Stars in the conference final, and the feeling going in is like, the Dallas Stars are a pretty good team. Then this year, well, they've got Mikko Rantanen, he's destroying the playoffs, so, don't count your chickens before they hatch. And I don't know about you, but following that Game 3 today, sitting there watching the Oilers pile up goal after goal after goal after goal in that third period, it sure felt to me like the Oilers have this series won. Now, that's getting ahead of ourselves. We don't want to play into that all too much, but it was just a weird sense of just commanding victory from the Oilers. Just we won Game 3, but it's almost as if it's completely over for the Dallas Stars. And now that's not the case. That obviously can change on a dime, as we know with the Oilers all too well all the time. But what I'm saying by that is the Oilers really went out there, made that statement in Game 3, and they look terrifying. And the Dallas Stars, the only hope they have going into Game 4 to even possibly salvage this series at this juncture is to just, find another level, find another gear, find another something that the Oilers haven't seen in the 3 games yet. Because if the Dallas Stars, the Game 1 effort in the third period, if they just muster anything out of Game 2 and 3, that second period today, I guess you could say, the Oilers have it handled. That is legitimately the problem for the Dallas Stars, is if you have thrown everything you have at the Oilers through 3 games and you find yourself down 2-1 with the thud that was Game 3, the fact that Game 3 was a better game for the Oilers than maybe Game 2 even was, and they didn't get a shutout, goes to tell you that if I'm Pete DeBoer, I'm sitting there as head coach of the Dallas Stars, and it's like, okay, we really got to rack our brains here and find something, because there might not be anything left that the Dallas Stars can throw at the Edmonton Oilers to, get this series won in their favor. And that's not necessarily the truth. That's just the feeling coming out of Game 3 as an Oilers fan watching it, and just the pure dominance in every facet of the game. As the Oilers, they break down, Stuart Skinner makes the save. The Oilers make a pass and it bobbles through the Dallas defense somehow right through the middle of the ice, and the Oilers score on a breakaway. Like, it just seemed everything came up aces for the Oilers today. And I just don't know now, 3 games in, if the Dallas Stars, despite only being down a game in the series, are going to be able to recover from it. So that's a really cool feeling. I think, too, the fact that the Edmonton Oilers are really, really, really finding it game by game by game. That's something that you can talk about, as we did earlier in this video, where, the Oilers had to put it together, and they put it together better than they have at any point this year. But it seems they put it together better and better every game in these playoffs. Again, game 1, despite the collapse in the third period, the Oilers, for 40 minutes that hockey game, looked like they have the other 120 minutes outside of game 1. So it's kind of insane to me to sit here and say what we are about, Dallas being as close as they are in this series, because it just doesn't feel that way. And for the Oilers, just again, putting it together as they have, you knew it was there. You knew it was a possibility all year long, and they just never seemed to find it. And they still had success, don't kid yourself there, but they weren't, rolling over opponents 3-0, rolling over opponents 6-1 in a game where you'd figure they would have a situation where it's just a win and you move on. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here with the camera, but you win and you move on and it's all good. No, instead you've got a situation here where you win and like the series kind of feels over after that, just the thought of a game there for Dallas. So it's really, really kind of something here as an Edmonton Oilers fan to sit here and look at it after game 3, kind of where we've been in these playoffs, where we were at the start, where we are kind of maybe midway through the LA Kings series, where we are midway through the Vegas series, and this Dallas series. Yeah, that Vegas series was pretty uneventful, not so stressful for the Oilers. And you find yourself here in this Dallas series, outside of a period, just breezing on through. So that's where, again, like I said, it's incumbent on Dallas, if they want to make anything out of this series the rest of the way home, they're going to have to find something to give the Oilers that the Oilers haven't seen. And as much as I can talk about that being a solution for Dallas, the Oilers have handled everything Dallas has given them so far. Even if Dallas finds something that the Oilers haven't had to tackle yet, there is no guarantee, as the Dallas Stars coaching staff and players on the ice, that the Oilers also aren't able to handle it also, however you put English together to make that one work. But it is just insanely crazy. I don't know how to truly describe it, how much the Edmonton Oilers have put it together game by game, better and better each game. And again, I talked about it kind of at the end of, I think, what was it, game 2 against Vegas, or there was a game there where we were up with only 1 goal and we ended it just simply winning by the goal or whatever, maybe with the empty net, or I can visualize it. I was at Main Street. It's been a long summer already, friends, and we're just getting started. But no, you know what I mean, is I talked about the confidence I had despite having 2.5 minutes on the clock, empty net for the other team. And it's like, we got this. We're fine. We're done. We've got it. It's all good. And that is the feeling times 10 here today following game 3 against the Dallas Stars. Friends, I hope you enjoyed. Hope La Bomba's cranked up for you on a Sunday night drive through downtown Edmonton. For right now, though, I am up on out of here.